Hi everyone, my name is Allison Grosz. I'm an attorney and a partner with Hemrick O'Malley, PLLC here in New York City. Today I want to go over quickly what you can expect to do and what you need to do right after being granted asylum status in the United States. Recall that you can be granted asylum status by either the immigration judge or by the USCIS Asylum Office. When you're granted asylee status in the United States, whether it's from the judge or the USCIS Asylum Office, you can expect that first, within a few weeks, you're going to receive your I-94 in the mail. The I-94, I-94 is a small white card that reflects that you have been granted asylum status in the United States, and the card is sent to your home address or your attorney's address from the Department of Homeland Security, whether it's from the Asylum Office, Department of Homeland Security, or after the immigration judge grants you your asylum status. Now, like I said, oftentimes the I-94 comes in the mail automatically. However, if several weeks passes after your asylum status has been granted and you have not yet received it in the mail, you can make an appointment with your local USCIS InfoPass office to go and request the I-94 be issued, but we always recommend to wait several weeks after the issuance or the approval of your asylum status to see if it comes in the mail so that you don't have to go into a USCIS InfoPass office in person in order to request that the I-94 be issued. Now, this I-94 is important because it reflects that you've been granted asylum status, and it allows you to apply for certain benefits in the United States as an asylee that you otherwise would not be eligible for, not as an asylee. One other thing that can happen after you receive your asylum status in the United States is that you should make sure your employment authorization document, or your work authorization as it's sometimes known, reflects that you are an asylee and no longer have a pending asylum claim in the United States. The pending asylum claim is under the C as in cat 8 category that would be reflected on your work authorization card. Whereas if you've been granted asylee status in the United States, you should apply for and receive, if you haven't already, the A as in apple 5 category employment authorization card, because it's this card that will reflect that you are an asylee in the United States and do not have any longer pending asylum status. In addition to making sure your employment authorization card reflects the correct A5 category and is up to date, you also are eligible to file an application for a refugee travel document as an asylee in the United States. Now, keep in mind that your application for a refugee travel document is not required to have. It's something that you can choose to apply for, or you don't have to apply for it as an asylee. A refugee travel document allows you to re-enter the United States as an asylee because, of course, you should not be traveling with your national passport after you have been granted asylum status. Now, if you apply for a refugee travel document, keep in mind that this is different than an advance parole document. A refugee travel document must be maintained for every time you plan on traveling outside of the United States until you become a U.S. citizen. So it's always important to make sure that your refugee travel document is current and up to date before departing the United States, because it's this document that will allow you to re-enter the United States as an asylee until you become eligible for it, apply for it, and are granted U.S. citizenship status. One thing we here at Hemrick O'Malley always recommend our clients and other people to do is to always maintain their addresses with USCIS and the Department of Homeland Security, even after they've been granted asylum status. This is because eventually you will be eligible for, or potentially eligible for, receiving a green card and legal permanent residency in the United States. And when you make your application for a green card, as well as your future application for citizenship, if you ever become eligible, you will have needed to maintain your lawful address and update your address accordingly with DHS until you, of course, become a U.S. citizen. We here at Hemrick O'Malley are also happy to discuss any of these matters related to what you do after you become an asylee here in the United States. We help people get their asylum status every day, whether it's from the immigration judge or through the USCIS Asylum Office. We're happy to answer questions about this or about any other immigration matter. You can find us online at hemrick.law, or you can call us at 833-848-7838. And until next time, I look forward to talking to everyone again soon.